Okay, welcome back. So in the last video, if you watched the last video, we talked about what is SEO, search engine optimization. And to summarize it in this video, it's basically how search engines crawl our website and index our pages to display into the Google search results. So we talked kind of about how this SEO keywords in summary, these autofill for you based on what content we input here and in the title. And in this video, we'll talk a bit more about the phenomena I discussed in the last video regarding school pages getting crossed. This is a common issue that we've been kind of dealing with for quite a while since I started here, and we really have no way to rectify what's going on. Like, we have no jurisdiction over what Google decides to do with your pages. And really what it comes down to is the keywords in summary uh, need to be filled out properly, and it's very time consuming. And we've done our best to kind of mitigate what's going on here by autofilling some of this content for you, but that's not good enough, and we were taking steps to make things better. So one of the steps is what we call cross-school accessible. And so what I mean by that is I have this automation page here, and that's all well and good. Here on another school, this is IS Public Schools / IES Priv for IS Private School. This is a sub-school on top of the IS Public Schools district page. Um, and on this particular school page, I have this private cross page just with some stock data, nothing crazy. So if I open up the settings for this one, towards the bottom you'll see it auto-filled for me already. I literally just copy and pasted the content. This setting here, viewable from other schools, this is what I'm talking about when I say cross-school accessible. So what this setting dictates is, can I view this page from another school? Or is this page unique to this school only? So with this option set to no, this little summary tells you, this page will only be viewable and indexable from the school that owns it, in this case, IES Private Schools. So what does that mean exactly? Well, if I take this end part of the URL, and I can actually do copy page link from here as well, and I go to another school, in this case, private, actually the trade school one, sorry, IES Trade School, I'm going to duplicate the tab, and I'll place this on the end of the URL. So what this means is that I'm on the IES Public Schools domain, accessing IES Trade School, but I'm accessing this page with ID 1073, which is this private cross page on the IES private school. So we have a couple of things going on in the URL, and it's very important that we understand what is going on. So the gist of it is I am accessing IES private schools page from IES trade school. And that's the cross school that we've been talking about throughout this video and the last video. So what happens if I click enter? Hit enter, and because I'm logged in, I get this inaccessible page. You are seeing this as an admin. This resource cannot be accessed from this school. It will not be indexed by any search engines and cannot be viewed by visitors. Please ensure this resource originates from this school. If it is not, please recreate the resource on this school and place the proper link where applicable. So that's a very fancy way of saying you're on the wrong school. And you can see that in more detail if I were to open up an incognito and go to the exact same page. But this time it's a 404. And it's a 404 because we're not logged in. And so what happens now when we're not logged in, we get the 404 message, page not found. We have a did you mean section. So this did you mean section actually goes through the content here and tries to match what page on this school would most closely resemble what is being looked for. And so I can click cross page test IES Trade School, which is a page on IES Trade School with similar content, and everything's relevant. Like, it's listed by relevance. And so the topmost result being the most relevant, the most matching words, most matched content, etc. And so this error message we see here is because I'm logged in. And the idea is that once you're logged in, or now that you're logged in, you'll be able to actually take the content and recreate it on IES Trade School and then link that where applicable. So how do we get around this? How do we make it so that this page is accessible and viewable from this IES Trade School? Well, that's what that setting was for, viewable from other schools. I'm going to toggle that on and click Save. And so now, I'm going to wait for that to refresh on that side. When I refresh this IES Trade School, message is gone, and this 404 goes away. Now I can view the content. So setting your pages or your resources as cross-school accessible is kind of how we get around that. The caveat being that this private cross page that I have loaded here is going to be indexed by Google and Bing and DuckDuckGo, which just means that this private cross page will appear as a search result for whatever schools may be accessing it. So it's kind of a trade-off, and obviously there are things that we can do to improve that. Um, excuse me. And those things are just in the work at the moment. But we're trying to kind of mitigate that error in the Google search results where things just are showing incorrectly. So in the next video, we'll talk about where this applies and how we can actually set this in mass. See you then.